This is the Mariposa beach access. This used to be where you walk down to the beach. It's not a very good walk at the moment. As you can see, the storm drain has failed in a very big way. In this, there is the old abandoned storm drain plus the new storm drain and sewer pipes. Sewer's intact. That's the good news. Bad news is the storm drain's pretty well totaled. You're going to be talked to by the engineering department a little later. I'm just showing you the pictures of it, but he'll have some estimates on what it's going to take to put this back in working order before we have some more rain. Pretty dramatic stuff. Gives you an idea. It took some decks out from the private property as it went down. Large volume of water going down the end of Escalones and Mariposa. This is a 248 PALIZADA. There's a slope failure from underneath the structure. It's made 4 units unsafe. Just kind of sloughed over into the canyon. This particular canyon, it is a buried canyon, buried storm drain. Is that right, Bill? Yeah. Anyway, the pipe's buried. So all you're seeing on the top is just surface runoff. The actual water being carried from other places up above. This is Camino San Clemente. We're back to those houses in Colony Cove. Give you a little better idea just how at risk some of those were. This is kind of a little orientation shot as we come in. As I told you before, some of these houses literally have their footings showing. When you look out, there's nothing left at the edge of the house before you get to the edge of the slope. And it's going to call for some difficult decisions. There are, as I said, 3 houses posted up there for either limited entry or being unsafe totally. It's just the top view from where you looked up earlier. There are some things I'm sure the city manager is going to talk to you about tonight on this. We just thought this would be a good visual idea so you can tell exactly what we're facing here in terms of the reality of this particular slope and what it seems to be doing. The good news up there is that none of the houses have actually started to crack or anything. But the slope's pretty ominous in terms of what you can see that you shouldn't be able to see. This is the ARLENA storm drain. This is a storm drain that pulled apart because of a slope failure up here on ARLENA. You can see the pipe down in the canyon. This caused us a lot of concern during the storm. However, we were able to take some emergency actions to keep it from undercutting the slope to the point where it took out. This is a sinkhole up on BUENA SUERTE. The determination of what caused this sinkhole, we're not really sure. We're investigating further. It's a pretty large sinkhole. It's probably 10 feet deep, 8 to 10 feet deep, and probably 12 foot across.
Is that on somebody's house?
Right behind somebody's house, that's correct, yeah. So these are beginning to pop up, and they're of great concern because when they fail rather suddenly. This is CALAFIA Beach. You can see we've lost some more curb and gutter down there. We're undercut the road a little bit there in the center median. The good news there is that the curb we put in back after the last storm did hold. So we had just replaced, after we look at this, we'll look at some other stuff, but some of the stuff we replaced last time held, so that was good. But some of the stuff, this is a reverse shot of the same thing, give you an idea. The water just came in, undercut it, took out the curb and gutter. This is the area we'd replaced. The curb and gutter you're looking there was just replaced from the last storm, and it did hold. We did have to re-sandbag behind it and put some riprap and stuff in there to keep it from undercutting. Now we're looking up one of the canyons, and this is just a typical canyon. This one happens to be between San Antonio and Lobos Marinos. You should be looking at a channel right there, but what you're looking at is nothing but debris piled down in the canyon. And obviously when it rains again, the water's going to form behind these debris dams, and then when it lets go, it's going to let go suddenly, which is going to greatly impact the head walls and the debris basins down below. There are, on almost every coastal canyon we have, you can walk in and find this exact situation today where private land has in fact failed down into the bottom of the canyon and put these debris dams in place, and it's going to take a lot of work to get them out. We've gone in with a clamshell in this particular case and cleaned out the head wall. That was completely buried with debris, and we've done a real good job of cleaning it as far as we can get with the crane. But as you can see, that if we don't do more work, or if people don't do more work, whichever owns the property, you're going to have a problem. This is the top of San Antonio. This is a storm drain. Comes out from underneath the street, goes into the canyon. You're looking down, I would say probably 25 to 30 feet to the bottom of a ravine that didn't used to be a ravine. The storm actually undercut. It's now kind of a shear wall on either side where the homes sit. So we have not quite the undermining of the homes, but we sure have a serious potential to have that situation. So this is another one of the things the engineer is going to talk to you tonight. Again, a visual look at the things that you're going to be acting on. This is a shot from Gaviota looking down into the drainage up behind Boca del Canyon. This happens to be one particular home where it slid all the way down into the canyon from underneath his deck. This particular drainage has multiple slides in it from a number of areas. As you're looking here, this is the head wall down where Boca del Canyon crosses. We came in there with a drag bucket, and we were able to clean from the head wall in, I think, about 50 feet. That'd be correct? Yeah, about 50 feet. And that's what we've cleaned. But look what's just out 50 feet. There's a wall of debris. Well, that's what that is. That's all debris. And if that doesn't get cleaned out, the first rains, that debris is going to go straight into the head wall, and you're going to have the exact same situation. CAZADOR, one of our storm drains, the water pressure blew the lid off the box at the top. The water ran out of the box, undercut the storm drain. The storm drain pipe itself didn't fail, but it did begin to undermine the structure. Another area for concern. Casa Romantica, we have 4 new sinkholes have just appeared. One of them quite deep. In this particular case, I think the hole's easily 6 feet deep. It could be deeper. I really didn't go look, but I'm going to show you a picture of it. I didn't go down beyond where it got dark. I did take the camera and kind of show you that it's well below where the pipes and stuff are. That the sinkhole continues to go on down into the ground. There's going to need to be some attention to that, or I imagine if it rains again, we could potentially have some serious problems at the CASA. In addition to Casa Romantica, we have these kinds of failures. This one happens to be on PICO between McDonald's and the high school. Large sections have just walled over, leaving us very vulnerable for liability type issues for people walking on sidewalks that are undermined or slipping off into areas, that type of stuff. We've put up barricades. This is the last area we have. This is the 3,000 cubic yards of storm material that we're stacking at the end of Los Maris until it dries out enough to be able to be taken into one of the landfills. This was an early decision. We didn't want to pay for the water since it's $27.50 a ton to dump this stuff. And the landfill at Prima won't take it if it's over a certain moisture content because their leach fields won't handle it. It would require us to haul it to B Canyon, which is a very long haul. So the effort was tried to make to get this stuff. You can see how slippery it is. The tractor just sits there and spins as it tries to pick this stuff up. Right now we're stacking it probably 8 feet tall. We'd stack it a little higher if we could, but the tractor literally can't push it up that high. And it's just kind of a closing shot we have here. We continue every few minutes to come in there and dump more storm debris as we take it off of our streets. The various cul-de-sacs, some of our cul-de-sacs were inundated to the point where there was 2 or 3 foot of mud, literally covering cul-de-sacs to the point where you couldn't even find the fire hydrant. You're going around looking for the fire hydrant with a probe to try and find it in the mud. So you don't take it off with the track. This is the people who provided videotape to it, and we just let the credits run. If you have any questions, I'll answer them if I can.
Yeah, thank you.